we always expect the opposition's very, very best, and this is a side that has really sort of put us under a lot of pressure, throughout games in the last couple of times we've played them. So, we have absolutely no question marks on, or any questions I should say, in terms of just where they sit and what they can actually do, because we've seen the full force of them. We saw it, earlier this year. So, our eyes are clearly open about what they potentially can do. The good thing is for us is that we're at home, and we played a game on the weekend where we've got a great crowd, and we're expecting, hopefully get another good crowd on the weekend where we can put a good product together and people want to come and watch. So it was pleasing to see so many numbers come out for that match, and to sort of watch us get a win. So hopefully that encourages them to come along this week too. We've apart from our first quarters, we've evened out things. We've got better as the season's actually progressed, and certainly as when the buys kicked in. The Essendon thing was probably a bit of a important point in our season. We lost a lot of injury suspension there for a couple of weeks, so it was hard to gather that momentum back. But once the personnel sort of started to arrive again, and we got that real competitiveness back and work rate back in our game, and it's still not where we need it to be, but that's certainly one of the things that has changed it around. And we've played against some pretty good footy teams. Even Gold Coast on the weekend, they were sitting around about the same mark, but the thing that they were in the top echelon of was their clearances, and we beat them in that area. So that was particularly pleasing coming out of the game, that we're able to, we've been able to match a few sides in that area, and against a side that was pretty handy at it on the weekend. Oh, please. That's my response.
No concern there?
Oh, seriously. Have you seen the incident?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't. No. And look, if he did, so be it. I mean, we're certainly having our challenges at the moment in some of those areas, as well as getting clarification even on just our umpiring and free kick numbers at the moment. So there's a few things I think that we're probably want to be armed with right now, and are trying to talk to the right people about, so we can continue to get clarification, because clearly at the moment, in whatever manner we're going about it, we're not certainly getting the rub of the green in that area. So there's some really obvious things that are happening that that just don't seem to be getting adjudicated exactly the same way for both sides at the moment. So that's something that we're just going to have to continue to work with umpires and the like, to make sure that we can give our players clarity on what that looks like. There'll always be some sort of banter between the two teams, but I think once that becomes irrelevant and the coaches become irrelevant in all that, and you start talking about the contests and the clashes and the matchups and the roles that'll take place, I think you'll see the whole euphoria around it go to another level. And I don't necessarily think that that's probably at that level yet. But the more as we progress as footy teams and get better as footy teams, as in Gold Coast and Brisbane, then you'll find that a lot more gets talked about. Part of the Origin, when you look at Origin, the reason why it's so great is because people talk about the contest, and the rest doesn't need to be said. And for us, that's something that we obviously want to try to attain at the same time.
So you want to be more physical? Is that part of?
Oh, I think every side wants to be that. But in terms of, the contests and what you leave away talking with, I mean, the Queensland public should be talking about the matchup between Red and O'Meara. There'll be a couple of players that'll be fighting it out for the next 8 to 10 years through the midfield. So when we start talking about those contests and incidents through games and critical moments and were the umpires for or against, I mean, they're the things that I think that as footy lovers, when you sort of start talking about that in the streets, that's when the numbers really do start to come up. But I think by the numbers on the weekend, it was the largest crowd this year. So to be able to see that shows that there is, we are making some headway into that.